more than enough to let the light in. The way you're making me feel, it's divine. It's enough to let it flow, let it be. 'Cause you're everything that I crave in this life. 'Cause we're everything we can't find in another life. Take my hand and my promises, they're yours to be held, and I want you. I only want you. Keep my heart and my honor is yours to be held, and I want you. I only want you for the rest of my life. My life, for the rest of my life. You're in my sight, in my mind, in the quiet and upfront out loud, in the calm, in my spirit and the storm. 'Cause you're everything that I crave in this life. 'Cause we're everything we can't find in another life. Take my hand and my promises, they're yours to be held, and I want you. I only want you. Keep my heart and my honor is yours to be held, and I want you. I only want you for the rest of my life. For the rest of my life. For the rest of my life. For the rest of my life.
Welcome to the Locker Room and Talking. I'm Nancy, and we're here to talk. Now, let me start off with saying I am sorry that I missed Thursday and Friday. Thursday, CJ was coming home. When he came home from school, he was coming into the house, and we got 13 steps coming up to the front of the house. And he slipped on some snow, a corn cob underneath some snow, rolled under his, because I feed the squirrels, rolled underneath his foot, and he fell and landed on his left arm on the edge of a step. And he broke this fat bone right here in his wrist. And he couldn't move his thumb. He had a big old knot there. So I ended up having to take him to the ER, and he's got a splint on right now. He was supposed to get his full cast today, but the orthopedic doctor ended up in surgery longer than he thought he was going to be. So now CJ can't get his cast until Thursday. And then Friday I was sick. Oh man, was I sick. So here we are today. It's Monday. Sorry I missed y'all. And for those of you who worried and emailed me, thank you. But I'm fine. Let's see. Today on Talking Point, we are going to talk about. Oh, I didn't even give you a subject. I'm sorry. It's supposed to say habits. Can they change your life? Let's talk about it. So we're going to talk about habits. You probably saw on the on the what's that thing you put on eBay? The clickbait thing. Good evening, H. Davis. How are you doing? So, anyway, so yeah, CJ has a broken arm right by his hand. I'm good. I'm good. I'm getting better. And um, we'll go Thursday, hopefully, and get his cast. He's got a splint, a plaster splint right now on both sides of his arm, and it's wrapped up, and he has to have a sling. He hates the sling. But, so, and I'm advising him. I'm not letting him, but I'm advising him not to try to drive his car because he isn't an experienced driver with only driving. Yeah, he's going to be okay. It's just a hairline break right in the fat bone right here. Right now he can't use his thumb, but his fingers are getting to where they can move, and he can almost make a fist, but he can't make a full fist. But he can move his thumb enough to get here. So, and it doesn't look like anything's going to have surgery. Thank goodness. So anyway, we're going to talk about habits. And the question that I put into ChatGPT was, or the question I got from ChatGPT when I asked what's a good talking point, a real life talking point that I can discuss. It says, what one habit changed your life? And, oh, I don't want to turn that off. So I looked up how long, I didn't spell long right, but how long does it take to really form a habit? And it says 59 to 66 days. How long does it take to really form a habit? The time it takes from habit to form a habit, you give a lot of speeches. Did that help you come out in your build your confidence? I think it would scare me to death. The time it takes to form a habit can vary significantly based on several factors, including the type of habit, that's great. That's great. We all need something that can help us build our confidence. The individual's consistency, the context in which the habit is practiced, research indicates that a habit formation can take anywhere from 59 to 66 days on average, but this can range from 4 to 335 days, depending on the behavior of individuals. The key to success to a successful habit formation is persistence and the ability to make the behavior automatic, which can be achieved through consistent practice, enjoyment, and integration into daily life. Now it comes up with it says life hacker. Here's how long it really takes to form a new habit. It's not 21 days or even 66 days. No matter what the life hack industrial complex wants you to think. Beth Swarsky is Lifehacker's senior health editor and holds certifications. And then the behavioral scientist says, if you've ever heard that it takes 66 days to form a habit, the number comes from one study, Lally, E-T-A-L, 2010. Okay, so it can take anywhere from 4 to 335 days, depending on how long you work at the habit, I suppose. Now, I heard it takes, when I was going to quit smoking, one of the habits that changed my life forever was quitting smoking. And you have to turn one habit, when you have the habit of smoking for 30 years, like I did, then you want to make another habit of not smoking. After 21 days, yes, it got easier. But here I am 2 years in, and there's still days that I want a cigarette. Now, that's only until, now I don't ever actively go to buy cigarettes. But every time I feel myself wanting a cigarette, somehow I end up in the position of needing to go to a grocery store or Walmart or somewhere like that. And the first thing you smell when you walk into Walmart is cigarette smoke. They try to put those ashtray things, put away things over. Thank you. Try to put those ashtray looking things over away from the door. But the people put them out, then they exhale the smoke, and then the people that smoke, and I didn't realize it when I smoked, I was so offensive, was you, if somebody walked into a room like I was at the eye doctor the other day over my eye last week, and somebody came in, another customer or client, whatever, came in and sat down across the way from me. Now, the area is about as wide as this room, so I would be sitting back there where that red chair is, and they'd be sitting like right where I'm at. And I could smell them, and it just was gut-wrenching. It was a horrid smell. I'm so glad I have never allowed myself to pick up cigarettes again. And the second habit that changed my life 100%, which wasn't really a bad habit. I was like a social drinker. I would drink when I was around other people, but just to sit down and have a drink or pour a beer or drink some wine or whatever, I would never do it by myself. And on Thanksgiving Day of 2021, we had family in for Thanksgiving, and we were all drinking kind of pretty good. But then I opened one, and it was a horrible taste. And it was one of my favorite flavors. It was a mango flavored drink that I opened, and it tasted just horrible. And I've never drank again. I guess it was time for me to quit. So I poured it down the drain, and my husband, now every once in a while, he likes those Boston lagers. Every once in a while, he'll ask me to go get him a 6-pack, and I will. I won't argue with him about it. But usually he opens one, takes a sip, leans back in the recliner to watch a movie and falls asleep, and I end up pouring it down the drain. And the rest of the 6-pack gets used to marinate marinate meat before it's smoked on the smoker. So we're not drinkers here. But we don't, if people that I can relate, because I used to drink, I thought my life was going to, oh my goodness. And you don't drink anymore? If you quit drinking, congratulations. If you didn't quit drinking and you want to, I'm sure with God's help you can. I'm sure you'll make the right decision. Either way. But you have to turn it into a habit. You have to make it a habit of not doing a habit that you want to break. I mean, if you've already got a habit and you don't want that habit anymore, you have to turn it into another habit. A habit that you don't use it, whatever, or do whatever the bad habit was. And it was to the point where you can hear me clear my throat now. That's because I was sick this weekend. But I used to clear my throat like constantly. No, you don't? That's great. That is so wonderful. I am so proud of you. And my other moderator, Amanda Panda, she's almost 3 years now without drinking, and I'm so proud of her. And she she is just now able to get her driver's license back. She's got all of her fines paid. She's got all of her court business taken care of. She is ready to get her driver's license back, finally. And I'm so proud of her. I'm so proud of her. She's been doing so well. Okay, so the second page that I went to, I'm going to have to start a new screen, a new, well, that's a good thing to tell yourself. And apparently, since you don't drink now, you convinced yourself and you made it a habit not to drink. The next habit I'm going to have to start is living by myself. Because CJ's to the point in May, he's graduating high school and he's talking about wanting to move out and get his own place. And if he does that, I'm going to have this whole big 6-bedroom house to myself, except the 4 days a month that my husband's home. I'll have me and my dogs and my cat. So I'm going to have to make a habit of being by myself. I'm going to need Amanda calling me every day. Mom, you okay? Okay. So this one says, the one habit that changed my life, how you can transform yours too. Old habits, and you turn old habits into new habits is what this picture shows to me. Oh, I don't want to be the first to hear about your new stories. This is on a site called Medium. If someone had told me a year ago that one simple habit could completely change my life, I would have smiled politely and brushed it off. Like most of us, I've read countless articles promising life-altering. Sorry, my monitor got moved and I couldn't hardly read it. Results from things like waking up at 5 a.m., journaling every day, to exercising relentlessly. I've tried and abandoned many of these strategies, but this time something was different. The habit that transformed my life wasn't flashy, trendy, or even particularly new. It was something we all hear about but often underestimate: consistency. Yes, plain old showing up day in, day out, no matter how imperfectly. When I started practicing consistency in one area of my life, it sparked a ripple effect that transformed everything else. In this article, I will share how adopting this habit revolutionized my life and how you can make it work for you. Along the way, we'll explore insights from experts and real-world examples that highlight the power of this deceptively simple practice. Okay, before I get into that, I want to ask that prayers go out to the Guthrie family. The ransom that was due at 5 o'clock Mountain Time today, the time has passed. I don't know if the ransom was paid. The FBI was suggesting not to pay it because the family hadn't seen proof of life yet. And Nancy Guthrie, she's on the Today Show. Her mother was abducted 9 days ago, and she's 84 years old, and she's supposed to have medication, and her medication was all left at her house. And so that family really needs prayers. So if you're a praying person, please remember the Guthrie family. Okay, consistency, the keystone habit that unlocks everything else. It all began with writing. I'd always dreamed of becoming a writer, but like many, I struggled to find time or energy to commit. I told myself I'd start when things settled down or when inspiration struck. Spoiler alert, it never happened. That's how I am with getting back into reading my tarot cards. Now, I have 2 new decks, and I need to research the decks and get to know the decks. but I only need one deck for adult tarot, daily tarot messages, and one deck for children's daily tarot messages. And I have both of those decks because I'm up to, I think, 12 or 13 decks now. And I just can't make myself get up in the morning and come in here and do it. But when the time is right, I know it will happen because I'll just jump right back into it. I'll be inspired and I will just jump right back into it. So currently, I have a camera in my face blocking my monitor. There we go. Okay. It all began, okay. One day I stumbled across Ali Ball's article, How Writing Every Day Changed My Career. When he explained how a simple daily writing habit called Propelled is content creation and unlocked expected opportunities inspired, I decided to try it for just 15 minutes every day, no matter how I felt or what else was happening. At first, the results were modest. My early drafts were clunky, and I often doubted whether this habit would make it any difference. But by the end of the first month, I had written more consistently than ever before. By month 3, I was publishing articles regularly. 6 months later, I began earning through Medium's partner program. The momentum was undeniable. Jessica Wildfire echoes this idea in her piece, Why Small Habits Matter More Than Big Goals, emphasizing that big achievements are often the byproduct of tiny, consistent actions. Why consistency works. The science behind the habit. Consistency works because it leverages the power of compounding effects. When you show up regularly, even in small ways, your efforts build on themselves over time. This applies to skills, relationships, fitness, and even mental well-being. James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, explains this beautifully. Habits are the compound interest of self-improvement, the same way that money multiplies through compound interests. The effects of your habits multiply by you repeat them, or as you repeat them. For me, consistency turned writing from a daunting task into a routine that felt as natural as brushing my teeth. Each day I improved a little, building confidence and momentum. What began as a small commitment snowballed into something far greater than I expected. Break through the initial resistance. Let's be honest. Starting a new habit, even a small one, is hard. Yep, it is. I tried to quit smoking, I'll bet you 300 times since I started smoking. And it just didn't work. It just didn't work. Until finally it did. Let's be honest, starting a new habit, even a small one, is hard. The initial resistance is real, and it's where most people give up. I've been there too. Starting at a blank screen or skipping a workout because one day doesn't matter. But I learned that lowering the barrier to entry is the secret to overcoming resistance. Instead of setting lofty goals, I focused on showing up. Writing for 15 minutes felt manageable, even on busy days. Some days I wrote for an hour, but even the minimum effort kept the streak alive. Tim Ferriss, in his article, Why Small Wins Beat Big Ambitions, emphasizes celebrating tiny victories. These moments of progress create positive reinforcement, making it easier to stay consistent. Now, when I got myself, well, I didn't get it, Butch got it for me. one of those stands that I can put my bicycle up on, and I can ride my bike in the basement where I don't have to get out in the cold and ride. I wanted to make it a daily habit. And for a few days I was only riding. It got to where I hadn't ridden in a while. Because I did this to my shoulder in September, and I'd only ridden my bike once since then. So my legs really hurt when I tried to ride it. So I rode it for like 20 minutes, and then I got off. And then the next day I rode it for like 15, 20 minutes. And I said something to Butch about it. I said, I've been trying to ride my bike. He said, yeah, but you're only riding 10, 15 minutes. He said, you're not doing yourself any good. So I thought to myself, if doing it 10 to 15 minutes isn't doing me any good, then why am I doing it at all? And I quit. So then I thought to myself, if I get handlebars that are more comfortable, I'll be able to ride. So we got the handlebars, and we got my bike, took my bike to the bike shop and had them professionally put on, but they didn't adjust them right. So I got to get the turning thingy out and go down to the basement and turn them and adjust them the way I want them. But currently, last Tuesday, my shoulder was fine. And when I went to the doctor Wednesday, I thought I was 100%. No, Monday when I went to the therapist, physical therapy, I thought I was like 90%. And I even mentioned it on here. And thank you, H. Davis, for saying that was great. Well, on Wednesday, I reached for my deodorant that morning, and it popped. And I was back down to like, I think he said I only had 45% motion, bringing my arm up like this. Well, now that's as high up as I can get it. I can't bring it all the way up. And so Friday, I had a doctor's appointment with my doctor, and I told him what was going on. He said, you stop doing your exercises. They're trying to get me approved through insurance for another MRI. Excuse me. And if not, they might have to go in and do surgery on it. We won't know until we get the MRI. So we're waiting on that right now. But currently and the doctor was trying to pop it back, and he was all but putting his knee on it, trying to press it back in, and I was going, ow, 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 ow. And it was hurting, and it still hurts today. So, and it hurts all the way up in my neck right there. So, and I'm going to say, I'm going to blame it because this jaw's been popping. And if I don't have my teeth in, like when I take them out at night, since I do have some teeth, my backs don't close all the way because I have front side teeth here. And when I try to close my mouth, it hurts really bad. And sometimes when I chew, it pops. So I don't know if this and this is all connected or what's the deal. So, applying consistency beyond writing. Once I saw the impact of consistency in my writing, I wondered, what if I applied this principle to other areas of my life? Slowly, I began integrating it into my fitness routine, relationships, and personal development. For fitness, instead of committing to an hour-long gym sessions, I started with 10 minutes of home workouts. Over time, that snowed into a regular exercise habit that felt sustainable. In relationships, consistency meant sending simple, thinking of you texts and to friends and family every week. This small effort strengthened connections I had previously neglected. Even my mental health benefited. I started practicing gratitude journaling each night, jotting down 3 things I was thankful for. The small moments of reflection transformed my perspective and reduced stress. Jessica Wildfire writes in how showing up changes everything. That consistency isn't about being perfect, it's about being present. This mindset shift helped me focus on progress rather than perfection. The challenges of staying consistent and how to overcome them. Of course, consistency isn't always easy. Life gets busy, motivations wane, and setbacks happen. But here's what I learned: prepare for imperfection. Consistency doesn't mean perfection. Missing a day doesn't mean failure. The key is to bounce back quickly. Track your progress, whether it's a habit tracker app or a simple notebook. Recording your efforts helps you stay accountable. It doesn't for me. I don't write it down. I forget to write it down. I say I'll write it down tomorrow, and then I just quit. Find your why. Remind yourself why this habit matters. For me, writing wasn't just about creating content. It was about expressing myself and pursuing a dream. In How I Rebounded from a Major Setback, Ali Abdallah shares how resilience and recommitment kept him consistent during challenging times. The ripple effect of one habit. What surprised me most about consistency was its ripple effect. By mastering one habit, I inadvertently improved my discipline, focus, and confidence in other areas. For example, the discipline I built through writing carried over into my professional life. Deadlines felt less intimidating, and I approached challenges with just show up mindset. The ripple effect isn't unique to me. James Clear calls it the domino effect, where building one good habit often triggers a chain reaction of positive changes. How you can start your transformation today. If you're ready to make consistency your superpower, here's how you can start. Pick one habit. Choose something meaningful but manageable. Maybe it's just exercising for 10 minutes, journaling, or practicing a new skill. Start small. Lower the bar. Focus on showing up consistently, even if it's just for a few minutes a day. Track progress. Celebrate small wins to stay motivated. A simple streak tracker can make a huge difference. Be kind to yourself. Progress isn't linear. What matters is that you keep going. As Jessica Wildfire writes in The Habit That Changed Everything for Me, transformation doesn't require monumental effort. It requires showing up day after day. Conclusion: transforming your life one step at a time. Consistency might not sound glamorous, but it's the foundation of all meaningful change. By committing to one small habit, you can spark a ripple effect that transform your life in ways you can't yet imagine. The habit that changed my life, writing consistently, wasn't about perfection or immediate results. It was about showing up even when it felt hard or pointless. Over time, those small, steady efforts compounded into something extraordinary. So, what's the one habit you'll commit to? Start small, stay consistent, and watch your life begin to change one day at a time. I don't know. I guess I'll have to think on that. The hidden power of showing up on hard days. Now, I hadn't looked at this, I just now found it. Success is rarely about giving 100%. It's about refusing to quit on the days you can only give 5%. We love to talk about success as if it's made of highlight reels, the moments when everything clicks, when you feel unstoppable, when the world seems to cheer us on. But the truth, success is built on the days you don't want to show up. I've had weeks where my tank was completely empty, where I had to deliver bad news to my team, where motivation wasn't just low, it was non existent. And yet I still had to show up. That's the part nobody tells you about success. It's not about going full throttle 7 days a week. It's about not quitting on the days, even when you say stop. And I have to create an account to read the full story. But it says the 5% days are the most important. We all have those days, the 5% days. Days when your output feels like a fraction of what you're capable of. Days when just getting out of bed feels like a win. I have those days, but I don't want to subscribe to this platform because I've never even heard of it before today. So, but it sounds like something I want to check into. I did download ChatGPT last week on my computer, and that's where I came up with today's topic. I got something wrong with my face. I don't know what it is. But, oh, it's the light. There it is. So, but yeah, I have days where I just don't want to do it because I don't see a reason. If I'm going to put forth an effort and somebody's going to sit there and say, well, you only did, well, at least I did that much. You know, I don't get that. I get you only did. And that hurts. That hurts. So made me not want to do it. And now my doctor said I can't do it until after I get my MRI and whatever. So I don't know. I could probably ride my bike if I just get down there and fix it to where I want it, because I can ride just one-handed because I don't need my brakes when I'm riding my bike in my basement. So I don't need the second hand. And riding my bike is basically about getting my breathing going and building up leg muscles and things like that, and helping me lose a little bit of this flab I got down in front here. So, but I might get back into it. I don't know. I have to talk myself into it. And I'll be honest, I'm lazy. Since CJ broke his arm and there's so much more that he can't do, and I'm having to make up for him doing, like he can't go out and feed the dogs. He can't go out and water them. You know, things like that. I have to do it all, and carrying the trash out and stuff like that. He tried to tell me yesterday that he couldn't even do the dishes, do his laundry. I said, you can do it. You can do it. Now, I don't know whether he actually folded it or tried to fold it or anything, or if it's just piled in a pile in his closet. I don't know. It might still be in his clothes basket. I don't know. But at least he washed it and dried it and got it done. So if he wears wrinkled clothes, they're clean clothes. So, and I'm trying to show him that there are things he can do. And the most thing he wants to do is drive his car. And I prefer that with the sling on, he doesn't have the mobility, because once he gets his cast, he'll be able to bend his fingers like fully like that. But right now, his brace covers his fingers, so he can only bend them, you know, a little bit like that. And he can't hold the steering wheel with a good grip like that. And he still has pain in his thumb trying to move it. So I would prefer if he just didn't. So it's just safer, and I feel safer if I take him than if he drops. So that means tomorrow I can sleep in because I don't have anything I got to get up and do in the morning except take him to school. So I got to get up and take him to school. No big deal. I'll do it because that's what I'm doing. That's what being a mom's all about. So, all right. Thank you for being here. Like I said, I'm sorry I missed Thursday and Friday. CJ gets his cast supposed to be at 2:00 Thursday afternoon, so we should be home in time for him to go live Thursday night, barring any complications. All right, so thanks for being here. I'm glad that you're here. And if you're watching on the replay, thank you. And please hit that thumbs up, make a comment. Tell me, I'd like to know what kind of habits that you'd like to form. And maybe we can support each other in forming our habits. So, all right, do something nice for someone, even if it's just be the reason they smile, and let's figure it out.